Hi, welcome back to this channel. Welcome to Wealthwise. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing ZIIDI. And we all know, as we may already know, that ZIIDI is an MMF run by Safaricom. It's running it on its Mpesa platform. So in today's video, I would like us to discuss about the advantages of ZIIDI, the setup of ZIIDI, and the gray areas that I'm seeing on ZIIDI. The questions that I have that nobody has been able to answer as yet, or that if you have any answers for, you can leave us in the comment section. Now, before I start, had you invested in Mali? If you had invested in Mali, please leave us a comment in the comment section. Why am I asking? Because Mali and ZIIDI is kind of related. It will be easier for you to understand the setup of ZIIDI if you had already understood the setup of Mali. Now, Mali was an MMF that was licensed by CMA so that Safaricom can run it in its Mpesa platform. And who are the fund managers for Mali? According to CMA portal, Mali was licensed to Genghis Capital, running it in conjunction with Safaricom. Safaricom was the front face of Mali, but the actual decision making of the investment and what have you was being made by Genghis Capital, which is the fund manager. Unfortunately, I did not look at Mali's terms and conditions, but I know that their custodian bank was SBM Bank, and their trustees is KCB Bank, right? Now, ZIIDI was licensed last month in November. And Safaricom has just opened it up for us to start investing in ZIIDI. So what exactly is ZIIDI? ZIIDI is a money market fund that is being managed by three different fund managers. It's a collective investment scheme. Now, ZIIDI is being managed by Standard Investment Bank, that is SIB Capital. It is also being managed by Sanlam. It is also being managed by Allah Capital. So what are the advantages of ZIIDI? What exactly is ZIIDI selling to us? ZIIDI is selling to us convenience. What does that mean? For as long as you have your phone, and by virtue of the fact that you are watching this video, you certainly have a phone. So for as long as you have a phone, and you have the Mpesa app, you can join ZIIDI. You can start investing in ZIIDI. It is there. You'll find it in your Mpesa app portal. You'll see Mali and also see ZIIDI. Now, even if you don't have a smartphone, they have allowed us to invest using the USSD account. This means that you don't necessarily need to have a smartphone. Even if you have Kabambe, you can still invest, or you can still enjoy the benefits of saving and earning passive income in a money market fund account. So that means that ZIIDI has come to cater for everyone in the market, the high end and the low end. You only need a gadget and an Mpesa SIM card to start investing and saving in ZIIDI MMF account. And the beauty of it is that the minimum amount that you need is just 100 shillings. So this is a good way for even the mamambogas and the boda guys and even the lowest income people to have the advantage of saving in a MMF. ZIIDI promises us high returns on investment. Presently, it's at 13%. And remember, the treasury bill has already hit 11%. I don't know for how long they'll be able to maintain those high rates of 13%. I'm saying high rates because it's higher than the prevailing market rates. The treasury bill is presently at 11%. Yet ZIIDI is promising us 13%. I think that is way better than taking the T-bills right now, if they were to maintain that rate for a longer duration of time. Another advantage of ZIIDI is that they have availed to us a lock option. A lock option is where you lock a certain amount Unfortunately, the amount you lock will not earn you more interest, but it adds an extra security feature to your savings. Why? Because the funds that has been locked can only be availed to you within 72 hours of withdrawal. Why is that an extra security feature? How have you ever heard of people who were stupefied or who lost their phones and they lost money? Money was withdrawn from their Mpesa accounts. Now, can you imagine when someone steals your phone, or when you have when you go through a SIM swap, and someone gains access to your PIN? I don't know how they do it, but someone gains access to your Mpesa PIN. If you have your money in Mali, withdrawal is instant, and you use the same PIN. Your Mpesa PIN is your Mali PIN. So, in the unlikely event that you had a SIM swap or that you lost your phone, your investment in Mali was going to be in ZIIDI. Sorry, your investment in ZIIDI was going to be predisposed to fraud. Now, the lock feature protects you in the sense that even if you lose your phone, even if you have a SIM swap, whoever accesses your Mpesa PIN and tries to withdraw your money from ZIIDI, the locked funds, they will receive the money in Mpesa 72 hours later. And that's sufficient time for you to have informed or notified Safaricom that, hey, my line has been compromised or my PIN has been compromised, please block my money. Now, another advantage that ZIIDI is bringing to us, or that is offering to us, is that it is run by 3 fund managers. So that means that the risk has been spread out. We have SIB, we have Sanlam, and we have ALA. But I'm going to discuss that towards the end of the video. Another advantage that we have, or that we see in ZIIDI, is the ease of access, which I have already talked about. Another advantage that you have in ZIIDI is that the transaction, the statement is available for you. Unlike other MMFs, for instance, Corp MMF, yeah, where you have to request for your statement for you to be given, right? So these are the advantages of ZIIDI. But what are the gray areas? I told you, before you put your money somewhere, you need to understand the advantages and any risks that are there. Unfortunately, I see a lot of gray areas that I need somebody to answer these questions for me. When you look at the Capital Market Authority's website, this is what CMA says. The Capital Market Authority has granted approval to Safaricom PLC to establish the ZIIDI Money Market Fund as a collective investment scheme, making another innovative step. So Safaricom is just establishing. It's not the one that is going to run this scheme. The fund will be accessible through Mpesa platform, making it convenient for subscribers to grow wealth through the capital markets. Now, where I'm looking for it, Safaricom has partnered with 3 fund managers. We have Standard Investment Bank, we have ALA Capital, and Sanlam Investment East Africa Limited to offer the ZIIDI Money Market Fund. Is that clear? We have Standard Investment Bank, ALA Capital, and Sanlam. So CMA tells us with this ZIIDI fund, when you give Safaricom your money, when you give ZIIDI your money, it's going to be managed by 3 fund managers: Standard Investment Bank, Sanlam, and ALA Capital. Have you ever heard about Standard Investment Bank? Yes, you have. They are the guys behind Mansa X. They have been in the market. We know how they have been performing. We have their past history. And we know Standard Investment Bank. Have you ever heard about Sanlam? Certainly, yes. In fact, Sanlam, if I'm not wrong, they publish their results in the dailies. So we know Sanlam. Have you ever heard about ALA Capital? Now, ALA Capital, I told you I have some gray areas. ALA Capital was licensed as a fund manager last year, in the year 2023. And exactly 1 year down the line, or hardly 1 year down the line, they have already partnered with Safaricom to manage your money. So this, was it luck? or was Ala Capital, or was Ala Capital formed with the main intention of running or managing ZIIDI? How lucky could they be that you're 1 year in the market and you've already struck at such a good deal that you're managing, that you're partnering with the big company ZIIDI? I mean Safaricom. Let's go ahead, move ahead. Now, we have seen in CMA that 3 fund managers have been licensed. That is Sanlam, Standard Investment Bank, and Ala Capital. Now, what is Safaricom saying on their website? Safaricom is saying that this ZIIDI is going to be managed by Sanlam, by Ala Capital and SIB. Has Safaricom omitted Sanlam by design, or is it by omission? We don't see Sanlam in Safaricom's website. All right. Another gray area that I see with this investment or with this MMF is that Safaricom is the face that has been sold. Safaricom is the face of ZIIDI. It's the company that is selling ZIIDI to us. Yeah, it's the company that has got the license to launch ZIIDI, which is being managed by the 3 other investment companies. Now, I don't even know that there are 3 as per CMA or 2 as per Safaricom. I don't know. But Safaricom has taken a no liability stand. Safaricom says in the terms and condition, Safaricom excludes all liability that may arise from any loss or damage suffered by you on account of the investment or administration of the fund. Safaricom, being the face of ZIIDI, excludes all liability that may arise from any loss or damage suffered by you on account of the investment or administration of the fund. So that means that in the event of any loss, we will not hold Safaricom liable. We are going to hold SIB Capital. I don't know whether Sanlam is part of this because CMA says Sanlam is there. Safaricom says it's not. Safaricom is silent about it. And Ala Capital. So then that means that we really need to know, as an investor, you really need to know who are these people who are going to manage your funds. What are their credibility? What is their experience like? And that's why it's important to us to know who exactly is Ala Capital. This company that was formed 1 year ago and now has already partnered with this big short company, multinational company, Safaricom. Now, in what ratio are these 3 fund managers going to share? I told you it's a good thing because risk is spread out. But in what ratio are they going to share these funds? I mean, how are they going to collectively invest? Is SIB going to invest 50% of your deposit, and Sanlam a portion of it, and Ala Capital a portion of it? Or are they going to collectively decide? Like, you see the way we sign 3 checks at the same time? I mean, you have 3 signatures on a check. Are they going to make such collective decisions? Is it going to be in one pool? Or are they going to divide it in 3 pools? You need to know. It needs to be communicated to us. So these are gray areas that I'm seeing with this ZIIDI. Safaricom needs to come clear. And not that I'm questioning the credibility of Safaricom. Safaricom is a reputable company. We know that. It's a reputable company. But there's a lot of questions that I have. Now, I joined Mali in February this year. We all know that Mali has been licensed by CMA to be operated or to be managed by Genghis Capital. So at the point when I was joining Mali in February, I was comfortable with Genghis Capital manages my finances, even if it was just 100 shillings. I was comfortable with Genghis Capital managing my 100 shillings. This month, Safaricom is running ZIIDI now, and the transactions of the monies that I had invested in Mali Capital is now in ZIIDI. Why is that? Remember, I gave Genghis Capital my money to manage. Safaricom was the face. I gave Genghis Capital my monies to manage. I gave Mali my money. Why are my transactions now in ZIIDI? What if I don't want to operate ZIIDI? What if I want to continue operating Mali? What if I do not want to have my funds managed by SIB Capital? I only want my money managed by Genghis Capital. What if I don't have trust in Sanlam? I don't want Sanlam managing my money. I want my money only managed by Genghis Capital, meaning Mali. What if I don't want to take chances with this new baby on the block, Ala Capital, which was just formed last year? What if I don't want them to manage my money? Under what circumstances were my transactions, the transactions I had between Berlin, myself, Safaricom, and Genghis Capital in Mali being exposed to Safaricom is a mutual person, to Safaricom, SIB, Sanlam, and Ala Capital? Remember, as at yet, I don't know what records these fund managers have or they have access to. But I gave Genghis my money to manage for me. Why am I finding that balance, even if it is just 1 shilling, in the hands of SIB, Sanlam, and Ala? So there's a lot of questions that I have about this ZIIDI, but I am not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that Safaricom needs to come clear and communicate to us. Avail this information to us. We don't even need to ask. Anybody with a common sense, any wise investor will know that this ZIIDI thing has a lot of gray areas. Could Safaricom be using ZIIDI to punish Genghis? What exactly is going on? What exactly is going on? Why are my transactions, the transactions that I had with Genghis Capital in Mali, why are they now in ZIIDI? It was never communicated to us back then that whatever deposits you make in Mali, they will be transferred to ZIIDI. This is more like, I have an account with KCB Bank. I walk into KCB Bank and I deposit my money. I withdraw part of it. And now, when I need my KCB bank statements, when I need my bank statements, remember my KCB bank holder, when I need my bank statements, I am told to go to Cooperative Bank and access the statement from Cooperative Bank. Yet, KCB Bank and Cooperative Bank are fully pledged commercial banks which are both running. They are still both running. Genghis Capital and SIB, Ala, and Sanlam are competitors. So why are my transactions with Genghis Capital and Safaricom being availed to Safaricom, SIB, Ala, and Sanlam? Anybody with with answers for that question? Do let me know. Why is it that in CMA, in Capital Market Authority's website, they say they have licensed 3 fund managers: Sanlam, SIB Capital, SIB, and Ala Capital. Yes, Safaricom only has 2 of them. Do you have an answer to that question? Leave us a comment in the comment section. At the same time, why is it that in CMA website, we can find Mali in the collective investment schemes, part of the licensed products in the collective investment schemes, and we can see clearly it is licensed to be run by Genghis? Why hasn't ZIIDI been added to CMA? Are there still things that they need to sort out?